We're here in your offices. I must say they're beautiful. I love La Jolla. And I want to ask you about how you came up with the whole idea of LifeWave. I mean, I don't see any initials behind your name. Mm-hmm. You didn't have a huge company behind you. How do you come up with this?
Well, I guess I've always been an inventor and product developer at heart, and my experience after college gave me formal and practical experience in developing different types of products. And as a result of that work experience, I was able to go out and develop some new technologies. So what happened as a result of this was fairly interesting. I developed a very new and radical method for producing oxygen on board of subs, and one of the nuclear engineers at this government contractor was very impressed with the results, and he invited me to be part of a design team for one of the Navy's next generation mini subs. And as a result of that work, I started to think, well, you know, this crew is going to be essentially Navy SEALs, and what we want to do is find a way to improve their survivability. So I thought, what better way of improving survivability than to improve their energy and stamina? Problem, of course, that we have on a submarine, especially a mini sub.
Space.
Space, exactly. It's also, of course, extremely undesirable to use things like pet pills, energy drinks, stimulants.
Why?
Your body goes through a cycle of getting spiked, and you get this revved up metabolism, but then as soon as the caffeine starts to push its way out of your system, your blood sugar starts to crash, and of course then you start to feel tired. So the military frowns on stimulants as a means for improving energy and stamina. So as a result, I had to come up with really something very new and different. And I began to think about that we have wireless communication today in the form of cell phones, satellite communications, radio. And if we had a way of wirelessly communicating with the human body, then we could have a new technology for improving energy and stamina. So I worked on this privately for about 3 years and came up with the LifeWave concept.
David, what in your background would give you some insight on how this wireless communication would work with the body?
I had become very interested in the martial arts when I was younger, and this concept of chi, or ki, as it's known. Yeah, and
energy.
For 5,000 years, we've had traditional Chinese medicine, and this is fairly interesting because it's been very well accepted and well documented that the human body has energy, and there's a flow of energy that's present there. And of course, acupuncture is based on this principle, where what we will do is use needles or pressure or other techniques to help remove blockages and promote this energy flow. As a matter of fact, over the past 30 years now, acupuncture is recognized by the National Institute of Health.
Sure.
Many doctors still don't understand why acupuncture works.
But it does work.
But it does work.
All right, so am I to understand that you took all these cross-disciplinary studies and combined them, and that's how you came up with LifeWave?
Well, that's quite correct in that LifeWave does utilize principles that we would normally see in biochemistry and biophysics. Look, I mean, I'll give you a really practical example. We kind of take it for granted that when we go to the beach, we go there, some people go there to get a suntan.
Okay.
And what's happening is you have a high frequency of light, okay, UV light, and it's creating a chemical change within the body. It's signaling the body to create a pigment.
The entire body or just on the skin?
Well, I mean, it initiates it on the surface of the skin, of course, because that's where the pigment is going to show up. But it does have both a localized and systemic effect. Another really good example is that we're told by our moms as we're growing up to go out in the sun because we need to get light so our bones will become strong, so we can make vitamin D. So it's very well known, very well accepted that light can produce chemical changes within the body. And what's happening with LifeWave is that we're utilizing this phenomena. However, instead of giving us a suntan or improving our bone density by increasing vitamin D production, what we're doing is we're signaling the body with different instructions. So we're helping the body to burn fat more efficiently. We're improving the quality of the skin. We're helping to relieve pain.
Some people have a difficult time believing this technology. They say you're a scam artist. This is a scam technology. How do you answer them?
Well, you know, a con man wouldn't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on clinical research to prove that something works. Okay, they kind of hide in the shadows, you know, behind marketing hype, and that's not what we've done. We have a director of health and science, Dr. Stephen Haltiwanger, who is a highly regarded medical doctor and clinical nutritionist. And one of the jobs that he has within the company is to coordinate our clinical research. And at this point in time, we have over 30 double-blind placebo-controlled studies, most of which were done in the United States, but some of which have been done internationally. For example, we just had one study that was completed at Fenestra. This is a highly respected research institute.
And what were the results?
With a 60-person study, double-blind, placebo-controlled, over a 30-day period of time, it was found that users of LifeWave had an increase of over 22% in fat burning as compared to the control group. So that means when you use our LifeWave Energy Enhancer, your body burns over 20% more fat.
So I'm sitting down and I'm burning 22% more fat. I mean, you know, watching TV, eating a pizza, whatever, just automatically by wearing the patches. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. What's happening is that you put this patch on your body.
Okay.
It starts to signal your body to burn fat more efficiently. Okay? At any one time, our body is going to burn a ratio of proteins, fats, or carbohydrates.
Right.
Most of the time, we're going to use carbohydrates as a fuel because that's quick burning energy. And if we go without food for a long period of time, we start to go into what's called catabolic metabolism, meaning we tear down our muscle and use that as fuel, and we also use fats. So what this technology is doing is signaling the body to burn fat. Okay, so we're going to burn a higher percentage of fat as compared to carbohydrates. This gives us very long-term, very sustained energy.
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry today of getting energy, whether we do it through drugs, whether we do it through caffeine, potions, drinks, whatever. And the short-term effects are good, meaning we get more energy. But the long-term effects can be negative. For example, burning out the adrenal glands. Do we know what long-term effects are by wearing patches?
That's a very good question. You know, from the time we're born till the time we die, our bodies are designed to metabolize fats for energy. Okay, as a matter of fact, one of the benefits is that we're not manipulating our blood sugar. So when people use our LifeWave patches, one of the immediate benefits is that they're not going to crash. So they get very constant, very stable levels of energy throughout the day, and you never crash. You don't have the ups and downs. There's very constant, stable levels of energy. However, we also wanted to know what were going to be the long-term benefits. Were there going to be any side effects to this technology? Because we couldn't ethically put this product on the market if we found out that there were going to be long-term side effects. So we began to engage in clinical research to study what type of effect does this have on blood pressure, if any. What's going on with the vital organs? We wanted to determine what was going to happen to the electrical surface charge on the body. We studied this with a device called a GDV. We did electromyography research. But what all of this research showed us was that there are huge long-term benefits to using this technology.
For example?
This product actually had a balancing effect on the body.
When you say a balancing effect, what does that mean?
Well, this technology is extraordinarily different than any other energy product on the market. For example, LifeWave gives you more energy, but it also reduces the stress on your body. So can you imagine a technology that improves your energy but relaxes your body at the same time? We had a heart rate...
Yeah, I mean, that almost sounds contradictory.
Well, physiologically, the way that this is measured is through any number of ways, through EEG, through heart rate variability. As an example, we did an initial pilot study with Dr. Homer Nazaran. He is a teacher down at the University of Texas. And one of the things that we found in this HRV study is that LifeWave has a very beneficial effect on both the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. So as LifeWave improves your energy and stamina, the heart begins to relax.
Okay, David, do you have any graphs or something visual that I can see of what you're talking about?
Absolutely. We have any number of studies that we've done. I'll give you one example. We've conducted studies over the past 2 years with something that's called surface electromyography.
It sounds fancy. What does that mean?
Well, we've done these studies on over 2,000 people. And electromyography is a very well-established science. It's been utilized in hospitals over the past 50 years or so. And what happens with this technology is that we're going to take electrical readings of the adrenal glands, the kidneys, liver, thymus.
All different internal organs.
Absolutely. And what we find is that just within a few minutes of using the LifeWave patches, that the electrical energy in the body begins to rebalance itself. I'll give you a practical example. We had a gentleman, age 22, a professional football player, and as might be expected, his adrenals were overstressed, and he had very low, very weak electrical.
My adrenals are overstressed.
Right. Well, most people's are. If you live in a major city today, and you know, you're commuting to a regular job and so forth,
you're just stressed.
You're going to be under stress. Okay. Anybody that works is going to be under stress usually. And in his case, his adrenals were overstressed. He had very weak electrical activity in the pancreas, the thyroid, the thymus. And what we found after just 3 minutes of placing the LifeWave patches in the palms of his hands, that the readings in his adrenals came down.
And this is typical?
As long as the patches are placed properly on the body. So what you begin to see is an improvement in what we call biocoherence, meaning that there's a redistribution and a balancing effect on the energy in the body. So this is not so much a stimulant, okay, as more of a way to balance the body and bring the body back into harmony.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
I think it is.
David, you mentioned fat-burning studies. Do you have anything specific, anything we can see in terms of burning calories?
Oh, absolutely. We've had a number of double-blind, placebo-controlled studies that have been done so that we could substantiate our claim that our product does, in fact, burn fat. For example, Dr. Frank Schallenberger conducted a study using a capnometer. And a capnometer is just simply a device that can measure the percentage of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates that you're utilizing for energy. And so quite simply what this study showed is that through the use of the LifeWave patches, an individual would burn over 20% more fat than without using
and
the
burning
patches.
more fat is clearly what we want to do, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, fat is going to have over twice as much energy as compared with carbohydrates. So when we metabolize more fat, we're going to have more energy. Another study that we did was based on something that's called indirect calorimetry. Indirect calorimetry has been around about 100 years. What this device does, it will measure the amount of oxygen that a person is breathing. Okay, so when we know the amount of oxygen that someone's breathing, we can calculate how much energy their body is producing. So what that means is how many calories are our bodies going to use at rest, okay? Just simply the amount of energy that our body is going to consume per day just to maintain muscle mass and other metabolic activities. So, for example, let's say we took a man or a woman, maybe up in their 50s or so, and what we would find is that through the use of LifeWave, the energy enhancer product, that it would be typical for an individual's resting energy expenditure to increase by about 30% over the course of 8 hours.
So just by wearing the patches, again, I have 30% more. It doesn't matter if I'm active, if I'm walking, if I'm sleeping, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to burn 30% more.
Yeah, what we found is just by using the patches, someone can burn 300, 400, even over 500 calories more than they would without using the product.
Sounds great.
Well, I mean, it's pretty phenomenal. This doesn't mean that you put the patch on and you don't exercise or you don't eat right, okay? But if you want a product that's going to give you long-term energy without the highs and lows that you would get with stimulants, if you want a product that's going to help facilitate fat loss, this is the product to use.
David, I have a letter here from the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency and confirming that nothing indeed goes in the body. The NCAA was originally skeptical, and now they support their athletes using these patches. I'm looking at all these studies, and the FDA has even registered your patches as a Class 1 medical device, yet some are still skeptical. Why?
I think it's normal for most people to be skeptical about something that's new and something that's going to be different, and quite frankly, that's fine. One of the things that's happened over the past year with our company is that we've attracted pioneers. We've attracted visionaries. And
early
LifeWave is early adopters. And people with vision are people that see things before they're obvious to everyone. LifeWave is not going to be for everyone initially. What people will find over the long term, though, is that this product and this technology is for everyone because of the impact that it has on our health, on our well-being. You know, what we're doing is we're taking the advantage of the properties that materials have at the molecular scale, and these properties are very different than what we would normally be accustomed to. So it's really no surprise that people may have a hard time believing in new science.
I mean, over the years, there have been, the Wright brothers, where they said something about man will never fly?
I think that there's probably many good examples, at least over the past 100 years and beyond. People said we'd never get into space, we would never land on the moon, but clearly that happened. As a matter of fact, if we took a technology that we were completely accustomed to today, cell phones, and we were to show them to someone 100 years ago, they would think that we were practicing magic and we'd be burned at the stake.
Burn at the stake.
Fortunately, we live in a society today that's quite a bit different. But what we're doing with LifeWave is we have built this technology on a solid foundation of science. We have proven out this product and this technology with double-blind placebo-controlled study, the gold standards of clinical research. Right. We have not done one study or two studies, but we've done over 30. You know, those individuals that are skeptical only need look at our research, at our work, and at our science, and we'll see that it is in fact legitimate. You know, by the way, on a really practical level, you can't get Olympic athletes, Olympic coaches, professional athletes from all over the world using a technology unless it works. And for the past 3 years, that's exactly what we've done.
It is impressive.
We've been incredibly fortunate in that a whole series of events took place that led us to where we are today. We're very fortunate in terms of the quality and the caliber of the people that we work with.
You say that people could work at any other company, the caliber of people who you're attracting. The question that comes to me is, you probably could have sold this technology to any huge conglomerate, Johnson & Johnson, for example. Why didn't you?
I have a very unique opportunity at this time and place in history. We have the ability to start and launch a new industry. Imagine being one of our associates at LifeWave, where you receive a phone call and it's from someone whose life has been changed because of this product and because of this technology. That's a very unique opportunity, and it's a very unique position to be in. New associates that join our LifeWave family, I get calls from them every day. And some of the things that they share with me, you know, I hear from the 70-year-old grandmother. She'll say that she didn't have the energy to get out of her chair and play with her grandchildren. Now, because of using the energy enhancer product, now she does. I get a call from athletes, and they have problems sleeping at night. And now, because of the use of our Rest Quiet product, now they're able to sleep better. I get calls from people that were in chronic pain, and from the use of our Ice Wave product, now their pain is gone, and they no longer have any kind of discomfort. So being part of the LifeWave family is being part of something that will probably never come around again in our lifetime. So I can't imagine what else that you could do that would be more impactful than what we're doing here. How many times in your life do you get the opportunity to start an industry? The multi-billion-dollar products, multi-billion-dollar industry for energy and stamina. We know that skincare is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Sleep, another multi-billion-dollar industry. So we're not basing this company on a single product. We're basing this company on a technology that has extremely diverse applications. So the vision, the future, is that we're not just starting a very small business here. What we're doing is we're launching into a whole new industry.
I mean, I can immediately see the application or the analogy of Bill Gates and starting, software and Windows. I mean, it sounds what you're saying is that these patches may have that kind of scope of possibility.
I certainly think that it does, and in our research efforts, one of the things that we've wanted to do is substantiate the basic technology by coming out with multiple applications, at least on a test level. So we've done things in the lab like very rapidly improve muscle growth without any type of steroids, without any type of drugs or nutrients, just simply signaling the body in a very similar method.
To build stronger muscle, bigger muscle?
Absolutely correct.
Both?
Absolutely.
Wow.
We've looked at new ways of improving the quality of the skin. Nothing that's available on the market today, and it gives results within the first 24 hours. We're looking at new ways of increasing human growth hormone, of relieving pain, relieving discomfort. So this technology has very broad, very diverse application, and really, the mission of this company is to improve the quality of life for people in a completely new way that's never been available before. That's our vision, and that's our mission.
So, David, how do you answer your critics?
LifeWave is a disruptive technology. Okay, there's no question about it. There's nothing else like it.
When you say disruptive, what do you mean?
Well, let's use some examples. Let's use, for example, radio is a pretty good example. Back about 100 years ago or so, Tesla and Marconi were developing radio, and this was a threat to the telegraph business. So Marconi and Tesla were both attacked, because if their invention was successful, then it could mean huge losses in business to these companies. So they were attacked for it. But you really can't stop an idea whose time has come. And that's what's happened with LifeWave. People are tired of using drugs. They're tired of using stimulants. They're tired of having to depend on coffee. And quite frankly, people are tired of being tired. So this is a new technology to provide people with energy, well-being, improved sleep, improve skin quality, relief of pain, relief of discomfort. And you just can't stop the truth.